Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Wow Wednesday. I am Nancy Matthews, one of the founders of Women's Prosperity Network, and it's a delight to have you with us today. At the top of the call, before we actually broadcasted live, I had a couple people, Mary Jane and Deborah, said I wouldn't miss my midweek boost of motivation, education, and inspiration. And it really is our privilege to be able to bring this to you. We've been hosting Wow Wednesday now since 2009, I believe we started, about a year after being in our business. And I'm sharing this piece of the story with you today because sometimes, like, you get this little spark of an inspired idea and you think, oh, you know what if there's a lot of motivation on Monday? What if I did a midweek boost of motivation? I'll do it in the morning before people kick off their day. And here's what I want to tell you. If I had thought in that moment that I was making a commitment to do this for 13 consecutive years, I might not have done it. Right? So we just went with it. I followed the energy of feeling inspired and excited about it. And every single Wednesday since, it has been something energizing and inspiring for me, as well as for all of you. So I share that story so that you don't worry about the how, don't worry about what kind of commitment you're making. Just follow the energy of what feels good for you, as well as for the people you serve. So welcome to Wow Wednesday. I should be keeping track of what show number this is, but it's a lot of shows after 13 years. And I'm delighted to have you with us. We're going to be talking today with our guest, Gloria Grace Rand, about the L.O.V.E method to be unique in a world full of copycats. I'm super excited about that. Couple of quick announcements for you. So number one, this evening, I'm teaching a class and I'm inviting you all to come to it. It is a complimentary free class about being the one. Many of you know I've written a book called The One Philosophy, and this way of being will bring you more happiness, more love, more success and prosperity in business and life. So you can register for that. Join us tonight for free at thepeopleskillsacademy.com/skill set. And what I'm going to be doing tonight is sharing with you how to actually apply the principles of being the one to your life in a practical way. So do join us, thepeopleskillsacademy.com/skill set. The second announcement that I have is we are in a phase of open enrollment for our group coaching program, which is called Momentum. We just came off our 2-day level up workshop where we started working on your inspired action plan, going back to follow the inspiration, our inspired action plan for the remainder of 2022. And we want to support you in making sure that it feels easy and there's flow and momentum continuously moving forward so that you can and do have all the things that you desire. So if you're interested in learning more about that program, go ahead and you can send a text to my sister Susan at 954-290-2240. So just text Susan and she'll give you some information about our Momentum program. And Gloria, you were part of Momentum for a while, weren't you?
I was, and it was a really wonderful experience, really great for keeping you on track. And I know I'm almost thinking like, I wonder if I need to maybe text Susan myself and maybe enroll possibly. Yeah. So I'm going to.
Yeah, check it out. So enrollment closes tomorrow because we only open once a quarter, because once we get the group together, then we're all traveling in Momentum. And we find that it's better for all of you if there's not interruption midstream, because, you know, it's kind of like if your plane has to make a stop along the way. It slows you down, get where you want to go. We don't want that. So text Susan, 954-290-2240. And with that, let me bring on our guest today, Gloria Grace Rand. And I'll share a little bit about her background, then we'll dive in. We'll go for about 30 minutes of conversation with Gloria. Then we open up for question and answer. And again, one of the things that's unique about Wow Wednesday is you get the opportunity to ask questions of these experts so that you can move forward and really expand and experience all you want in life. So let me tell you about Gloria. She works with purpose-driven entrepreneurs who want to create more influence, impact, and income. She's an acclaimed internet marketing expert for over a decade. Yes, yes, yes. And her innovative approach combines a proven SEO, search engine optimization, an SEO copywriting process with mindset and energetic healing tools to create messages from the heart that will attract, engage, and convert. So some of you are looking for that magic formula. How do I get my website to do what I want it to do to attract my ideal clients? And I don't want to be salesy, and yet I know I have this important work to do. Gloria Grace is your girl. So she is also the author of the #1 bestseller, Live, Love, Engage, How to Stop Doubting Yourself and Start Being Yourself, and a certified high performance speaker. She has appeared on dozens of podcasts, radio shows, and shared the stage with some of today's leading transformational experts, such as Bill Walsh, Steve Beckles, Laura Rubenstein, Michelle Blood, and Dr. Diana Wiley. She's also spent nearly 2 decades as a television production expert. She's worked on news reports like, oh my gosh, this woman knows marketing, knows business, and knows your heart. And she wants to help you get that message out. So welcome, Gloria.
Thank you so much, Nancy. I'm so excited to be here and really to share what has been on my heart for the last few years and really has transformed how I show up in the world, and I know can help transform all of you as well, because it really starts with loving yourself, and that really is the key. And you talked about being inspired, and part of that comes from taking the time to start listening to yourself and to start really respecting that you have all the wisdom you need inside. You don't have to be copying all the other people out there in the world. That you have everything that you need right inside of you. And that's what I'm so excited to talk about today. So,
well, and I love that we're jumping right in. And as you talk about being able to listen to yourself, trust your intuition. I know for me, that journey, #1, is ongoing. And #2, when somebody, and this is probably 20 years ago now, when somebody said, follow your intuition, I was like, what are you talking about? My head knows the way. I know what I'm doing. And then I had to look and say, how's that working out for you? And it wasn't always working out so well. So what's one of the first steps that we can take to learn to listen to ourselves more?
Well, it's the first, well, let me just preface this by saying, if for those of you who had seen the description of this in print, you'll notice that love had dots in it. So love is an acronym.
Mm-hmm.
So each of the letters obviously means something. So the first step really is the L in love, which is to let go and let God. And that's really even the key to this, this #1 myth about self-worth that holds you back from success, is that you need outside sources to validate your worth. No, it's really about learning to trust yourself, is taking the time to be quiet and to really spend some time being quiet, going within, and start paying attention to what your heart is calling you to do. We've gotten so many messages, especially as kids. We were always told that we need to be seen and not heard, and that it's not good to brag about ourselves, and all of that stuff is just garbage, for lack of a better word. Yeah, that's what's coming to mind for me today. It's garbage. And we need to let go of that, let go of those limiting beliefs, let go of the fact that we, can't be heard and that we should just be seen. No, it's good to be able to start listening to what is in our heart. And one of the things that I recommend all of my clients, and the things that has really helped me doing it, and it's interesting, is that I started doing this shortly after I started my business. And I think it's definitely what has helped me, not think, I know it's definitely what has helped me over the years, and being one of the things to um, be able to start stepping out in a bigger way was meditation. So, and I don't mean that you have to sit down for an hour every day, although
It's
I do
not
that
like,
now.
oh,
Right, exactly. No. Um, you can spend 5 minutes. You can go for a walk outside. Um, Basically, go somewhere or do something that makes you happy. Heck, even dancing could be a meditation for that matter. It just depends on how you do it. In fact, I was someone, I think I'm interviewing her today. As a matter of fact, I'm recording my own podcast later today. And she posted a video that she and her sister had done where they were dancing. They had been sort of at odds for a while, and they spent some time reconnecting. And they did this beautiful dance that looked like a meditation. So that, I think, is really the key to being able to start trusting your intuition. And you know what? The other thing I would say is that start being mindful about the times when you ignore your intuition and it bites you in the butt. Because I guarantee you, you have probably had that experience. Like, it could be as simple as, oh, your mind is saying, well, you should probably drive this way today. But then you're like, oh, no, I always go this way. And then you get stuck in traffic and you're like, oh, why didn't I listen to myself?
yeah, I've had many of those instances. So, and I love that suggestion. So to start learning how to trust yourself more, take baby steps is what it sounds like. And I had a great incident of this a couple of years ago. It was around Christmas time, and I went to the salon and I got my hair done. And as I'm driving home, I would normally turn left, and I wanted some flowers for my garden because I was having a party. So I would normally turn left, and all of a sudden I got turn right. And like there was just, oh, you should turn right today. And I was like, that's going to take me so far out of my way. Why would I do that? But I was like, okay, let me just give it a go. So I turned right, and I ended up stopping at a nursery that had beautiful plants for my garden at 75% off.
Love
It
it.
wasn't in my plan, but it was a desire I had to get some plants. And so listen for those little ways. If you get an inspiration to call somebody, pick up the phone. Like there's no coincidence around these things, right?
Oh, absolutely. And the beauty of this is just like any type of practice that you have, when you're learning how to ride a bike, you have to practice to do it. When you learned how to walk, you had to practice and do it. And you
Right.
fell down sometimes, but you still
Uh-huh.
got up. This takes practice, but the more you do it, I should say, the easier it becomes, and you start paying attention to it. Like this morning, I just was like, oh, I wasn't sure if I wanted to take the time to journal, and something said, no, go ahead and do it. And
Mhm.
so I did, and it was like, oh, I was really glad I did, because some profound stuff came through, and just by paying attention to that. So yeah, it's a really good practice, and I just encourage everybody to do it. And it's whatever you believe, it doesn't matter whether you believe in God or a higher self, the universe, whatever it is, just being able to let that part of you come through, to be able to um, realize that you're not alone no matter what, and that you've got, as I said before, that you've got everything you need inside of you. It's just a matter of starting to tune in, and that's going to help you to start showing up the way you want to when you start trusting yourself.
Well, and I think that that piece of learning to listen to ourselves more is about tuning into what is our unique perspective, because in this world where, as you refer to it as, copycats, there are lots of business coaches, there are lots of marketing people, there are lots of people who do SEO, there are lots of people who do health and wellness. Like we're not unique in the category of our businesses necessarily, but we're unique in the way that we deliver it, that we connect with people. And that's why getting quiet, letting go, letting God, and listening is going to carve out the path so that you're uniquely you. And it
Yeah,
starts with loving yourself, appreciating who you are, knowing that you don't need to be like anybody else to be successful. You need to be you. So it's beautiful.
absolutely. And that's a perfect segue, because what I wanted to share, it was, you know, this mindset shift that you have to appreciate your value. And that's actually what the V in love stands for: value your uniqueness.
Mm,
And to realize that, as you said, there are all kinds of people out there who are probably doing the same thing as you do, the same type of service, but they don't have your background necessarily. They don't have necessarily the same education. They certainly don't have the exact same life experiences that you have. And all of that is what makes you, you. Even though we are all human beings, and in that way we are all connected and we are all one, but there still is only one you. And if you need help sometimes coming up with these things, and it is interesting that part of my book was the part that I had the most trouble writing, frankly, because I had come up with this whole rough draft with the book. And then that section, when I noticed when I started typing it up, had the least amount of content in there. And I'm like, I guess I still have some work to do around this. I wasn't totally valuing my own uniqueness. So I had to really sit down and start even making a list of like, okay, what are all the things that I have done in my life, and look for even some similarities or some
like a common thread.
themes.
Yeah.
Exactly. And to just start appreciating that, because it is one of the wisdoms of getting older, I should say, not old, but older, with more mature, more years on us, is that we can start looking back, and it is interesting that the patterns that happen and different directions. I mean, I started out majoring in business administration and really didn't like it. It didn't agree with me. So I changed majors to television production and love that. And then I got a job working for the Nightly Business Report. So like, okay. And then I wound up starting my own business years later. So it's like, all right. So evidently the universe wanted me in business anyway, even though I was resisting it. But what you resist persists, as they say, as well.
That's right.
So value, come up with what is it about you that is going to be different, because, and that's the other thing too, is that, again, we get so caught up in comparing ourselves to other people, is that not everybody, you're not meant to work with everybody. And you need to be okay with that. And the other side of it is that there are people out there who really want to work with you, who need to work with you, who are looking for you.
You and only you.
Exactly. Right. They will respond to exactly, your vibration or your particular life experience. Maybe you had, I don't even know, maybe you're an only child and they're an only child or something. And they're just like, oh, I really resonate with that person. I want to work with them. And by showing up as you and not worrying about what other people are doing, then you're going to attract the people who you're meant to work with. And that's so important.
Yeah. And it's interesting when you talk about that, because it reminds me that if you think about a vehicle, let's say you want to buy a car, the purpose of the car is to get you from point A to point B. Well, if uniqueness and individuality and different ways of riding and driving didn't matter, there would be one car dealership. Right? But look at all the different cars, and they'll be there's all kinds of car salesmen too, and salespeople, because it's not limited to that. So find those spaces and to do the expression of you and valuing yourself. I love the activity that you suggested, is to make a list and just kind of look at what are all the unique experiences you've had, some of the ways you've handled challenges, some triumphs, even some of our vulnerabilities and how we've come through them. I think that's all part of our value that we bring.
Absolutely. Yeah. And in fact, that's what people, I think, in particular will respond to, because they'll see that you're not perfect. And then they'll know that they're not perfect. And of course they, probably know that. And they're like, well, gosh, if she's able to go out and say that, then, I'm okay. And it's good to be able to show that. And the funny thing, I love to share this with people, is a few years ago, they were doing a live broadcast of, or a reenactment of like an episode of All in the Family. And they were doing this live, and I forget now the actor that was in there. I think it was Woody Harrelson actually. And he forgot his line. And he just kind of like, looked at the audience for a moment and was like, all right, it'll come, and then he went for it. And, someone who is paid, he makes millions of dollars. He's human. He's still human. He forgot his line in a live broadcast. Millions of people are seeing this across the country. So give yourself a break. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be you, and people will respond to that.
I love it. Good. All right. So we're talking today with Gloria Grace Rand, for those of you who might just be joining us, about the L.O.V.E method of being yourself in a world of copycats. And you just look on social media, so many things is copycatting. And to do this, she's got teaching for us today, and which is L.O.V.E. The letter L is for letting go and letting God, and listening to yourself, creating that space so you can hear the voice that's uniquely yours to share with others. We did the letter V, which is about valuing yourself, but what's the letter O?
The letter O goes a lot in connection with L, because it's open your heart to receive. And so it is about receiving messages from your higher self. And it's also about being open to receive other things like help, help from other people. It's about really opening yourself up to love, which shows up in a lot of different ways. It can be, availing yourself of coaching programs, like Momentum, where you don't have to do this stuff alone, where you can get some support in growing your business, because it's not easy, and it's not easy to show up all the time. But and when you're a part of, when you do like masterminding with people, where you can, practice and say, hey, does this sound good? This is the way I want to be able to maybe do my 30-second elevator pitch. And then you can have people give you feedback and say, I think you're hiding something there. And in fact, again, I've been guilty of this in the past. I remember I was on some networking group a couple years ago, and I just sort of blurted out that, oh yeah, I do SEO copywriting. Yeah. But it wasn't really where my heart was. And I realized, and somebody then gave me that feedback and said,
they called you out. They were like, wait.
They called me out on it. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I mean, really what I'm passionate about right now is my podcast and my book. And that's what I really want to be able to help people through those vehicles. So opening your heart up to receive guidance, not only from yourself, but from other people, and also being open and willing to receive financial guidance or financial compensation. Yeah, that's the word, because sometimes too, we're not, part of what is holding us back is that we're not, again, now see, it gets into the valuing your uniqueness. So you're not valuing how much good that you provide to the world. And so then you're not being paid for it well. And this was something I remember my sister had issues with one time, and she was a massage therapist, and she received a Christmas bonus from one of her clients, and I think it was like $1,000. And she like called me on the phone going, should I accept this? I mean, she wants to give me $1,000. And I'm like, wow, that is so cool. How awesome that she, values your services enough to want to give you that. And so I, basically asked her, okay, how long have you been working with her? Oh, a couple of years. Has she gotten good, service from you? Oh yeah. In fact, she's even referred me to other people. I'm like, Michaela, then you need to accept this gift.
Yes.
Because it's an act of love. She was demonstrating how much she loved my sister's work and her care in a way that she found was helpful. So we have to be open to receive love in all the different ways that it comes about.
And I think this goes back to one of the first things you mentioned, that when, we're told not to brag, not to boast. And now we're, as children, I know I was, oh, you have to do everything on your own. If you get help, it lessens the value. And so there's a whole nother piece of it. I think that in many ways, this space of being authentically ourselves and, in this world, there was so many messages growing up that who you are by yourself isn't good enough unless you can do it on your own. You can't boast about it. Like, that's not the world we're living in today.
No,
Not the world
absolutely.
I want to live in, right?
Yeah.
I want to shout from the rooftops that Gloria is amazing. She's totally freaking awesome. And guess what? I am too. And guess what? You are too. Keep shining your light, be authentically you, and all the interesting and intricate, unique ways that they are, you will attract more clients.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to be cookie cutter is not going to have you stand out, right?
No, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. It's so important to just, as I've said, to be okay with being who you are and realize that you're not perfect because we are human beings. And actually, I'm going to rephrase that. You are perfect. You are perfect the way you are because I believe anyway, that we are all, we have God within us, and we're humans. So we do make mistakes, and that's okay. That's how we learn.
That's a good way to
And,
do it.
and that brings me to the E in the love method, which surprised me when it was given to me, was embrace your divinity. And so not only embracing that, like I said, I believe that we have God within us, but it's really about self-love. It's really about taking care of yourself, really appreciating you, taking time out when you feel overwhelmed, take a break, walk away from the computer. It's like it's driving you crazy. Go grab a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or something and go for a walk outside and know that no matter what, you're the most important thing. Businesses can come and go, clients can come and go, but you are the only you've got. And this moment is the only moment that you have truly right now. So do you want to be happy or do you want to be miserable? I know for me, I would rather be happy as much as I can. And there are times when, stuff happens and we'll get upset, and that's okay, because that's still life. And that's, learning to, again, take care of ourselves helps us to start being able to roll with the punches a little easier. And I also believe meditation is something that has helped me as well. And to be able to sort of raise my tolerance level for things that used to like drive me crazy.
Yeah, I love that, because I find if I don't meditate, if I don't take time out to do those practices, the little things that can trigger me in a big way. Like if there's no coffee in the morning, it's going to really set me off if I haven't been in that practice.
Yeah, exactly.
So I like that it raises your tolerance level. That's really helpful.
Yeah.
All right. So the time flies by when I'm with you, my friends. It's so good to be here. We're going to open up for question and answer in just a couple minutes. So remember the love method to being yourself in a world full of copycats. Let go and let God. Be open to receiving help, love, and money. Value yourself. And the letter E. Oh my God, it slipped my mind. What was E?
Embrace your divinity.
Embrace your divinity. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. I want to ask you a couple of questions, and we're going to open up for all of you to be able to ask questions as well. How does this translate into creating copy for my website, marketing campaigns? Because I know your expertise brings these two together in a beautiful way. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. When you're more clear about who you are, and then you're able to express it much more easily. My grammar was escaping me there for a moment. Yeah, it's about really owning when you can own what's unique about you. And that's where I will work with clients to help you, if you're having trouble with that, to maybe talk with you a little bit and see, okay, what is it that you are, that's unique about you, and that especially in how you deal with your clients and what services that you provide, and then to be able to then translate that into your language. And it's really about just, yeah, again, just tapping into your unique gifts, your unique talents and abilities to, as I remember our dear friend Marty Ward used to talk about the tags. It's important, and then you're able to then communicate those in a way. And a lot of times I will, when I'm working with a client, I'll do actually interviews with them. Now it's lovely because I can do Zoom interviews.
Right. And
Rather, or in the old days, I would just have them fill out a form and tell me all about their business. But now I can, I've done this where I've done the video interview, and then I can actually use some of their language when I'm writing content for their website. I actually can use their phrases, so it really does sound even more like you, which is what you want to have happen anyway. You want to be there to be seen on your website as the full expression of you, so that your clients, those clients who are waiting for you, are going to respond to that.
Right.
And hope that answers it.
That was a great answer. So it's again about having your unique voice come through on your website so that you don't appear cookie cutter, that your essence permeates through, and the people who are meant to be your clients will absolutely, resonate with the messaging that's there.
Exactly. Yeah, yes.
Good. All right, I'm gonna get everything ready because I'm sure you have questions, comments you'd like to share with Gloria today. And as I'm setting that up, as always, we ask our guests to provide something for the community to move forward with them and advance the conversation. So what have you got for us today?
Well, I've got a special, because this is something that you mentioned in my bio that I do some energy healing, and this is a lovely gift that I've been given by, Spirit a couple of years ago, and that is something I call that's called light language. And so I've got an offer for everyone today to sign up for a session with me to receive a light language channeling message. And this is a way to be able to, release anything, maybe some energy that's stuck, and that's what's keeping you from being able to really express your true self, and to help revive you and sort of re-envision how you want to show up in the world. And so I'm offering that, and it's normally $111, but it's for only $27 for our lovely WPN members. And also, I'm also going to include a free PDF copy of my book, Live, Love, Engage. So you'll be able to really learn a little bit more about the love method and all the different strategies that you can take to be able to really and truly stop doubting yourself and be yourself.
Beautiful.
So you can show up as yourself.
So I know we've got several people here on the phone with us, and to work with Gloria, it sounds like this session with you is about a way to tap into what is uniquely yours, getting that messaging so that you can then get out and express it. So if you're someone who just loves to explore other aspects of yourself, go for it. If you're someone who's like, oh, I'm trying to get my voice out there, but I'm not really quite sure, sounds like that's for you as well. So go to gloriarand.com/WPN wow, all one word, WPN wow. So gloriarand.com/WPN wow. And I've got lines open. If you have questions or comments, would like to share, you can raise your hand if you're on your computer, and we've got you unmuted. And if you're on your phone, hit *6. We'd love to have your questions and comments. Tap into Gloria while she's here today. Let me see. I see Barry Alcatel is in the house.
Hello, Nancy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Thank you very much, Gloria. That was wonderful. And I'm just really curious about the light language, because I think that's an amazing piece of work. Can you just share a little bit about how you came across that?
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? I got to give WPN credit for this because I was at, one of our last events. It was the Uncom. I think it was the Uncom. No, it was a Level Up. It was Level Up because I did look this up, and Laura J was there.
Good morning. You saw my email?
Yeah, and
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I just seen it. Thanks.
Click.
Got it.
and when she talked about her experience with light language, and then she did the light language,
I remember that event.
I was sitting at the table and tears started streaming down my face. It just touched something in my soul, and I had to like go talk to her. And then I worked with her for a while, and then took a break, and then I connected with a previous coach of mine who I saw was channeling light language on Facebook, and he encouraged me to do it. So essentially, if you've ever heard of speaking in tongues, it's similar to that in that I just ask for a message to come through that'll be for either my client's highest good or my highest good, soul's highest good. And I open my mouth and syllables comes out. Sometimes I sing it too, which is kind of cool because I've always loved singing. And so sometimes it's completely singing. Sometimes it's a mixture of it. Other people actually will write symbols, and I've seen that as well. And actually now when I'm meditating, I'm starting to see the symbols in my mind's eye. I'll see like these gold, it kind of looks like hieroglyphics. Haven't been able to write it yet. It's like I want someone to take a camera of what's in my brain to put it on paper, but we don't have that capability yet. I'm sure it's coming though. But I hope that answers your question, Barry.
And look, it's wonderful. I'm a big fan of it. So I just really want to acknowledge you and thank you for the courage in coming out with that, I guess, and being open with that.
Yeah, it was definitely a little scary the first time I ever decided to share this with people, because the first time I did it, it felt like I had opened up a tap, and nobody was home in my house, thank goodness, because they would have been like, lock her up in the paddy wagon or something, take her to the cuckoo bin, because it was like, why am I doing this? But it helps. And when I've done it with other folks, they always say that they feel so relaxed and calm afterwards. And so I believe it's a gift from God, angels. Some people say star beings. I'm not sure about that, but it's love.
You know what's beautiful about this? So thank you, Barry, for bringing this up and acknowledging Gloria's courage in following the signs. And this takes me back to exactly where we started this morning when I said, I got this little inspiration to do Wow Wednesday on a Wednesday morning. And what Gloria, it sounds like you've done is just, follow the little taps. I call them little God taps.
Yep.
Just follow the taps along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because that's the other wonderful thing I think about when you start paying attention to your intuition is you will start seeing signs, and you'll start seeing things like, or things like repeat. And then you're like, maybe I do need to pay attention to this.
There's another song about that. Signs.
Oh, I love that song.
All right, Barry, thank you for joining us this morning. I appreciate you being here.
You're welcome. Thank you, both of you. That was wonderful, Gloria.
Thank you.
All right, beautiful. Let's go ahead and remind you, if you'd like to have that experience with Gloria, you're going to go to gloriarand.com/WPN. Wow, all one word. I see Pastor Darlene's got her hand up. Love to hear from you this morning. Good morning. Your line is open.
Good morning. Thank you so much for your share today, Miss Gloria. It was very, very enlightening. And just, you kind of answered the question that the gentleman asked, is how you acquired this particular way of thinking and really connecting. But one of the things that you said, you talked about, let me go back to my notes, as I want to make sure I say it correctly. When you were talking about receiving and opening yourself up for help, let let me go back to it. Let me just make sure I say it correctly. Look at this again. And it says, opening your heart to receive help, love, and money. And when you're saying open your heart, is that something that you would do in terms of writing things out, speaking it out? What is the process of being open? Because sometimes we can say we're open, but not really be open.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if you could kind of speak to that, that would be so great. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I love that you mentioned writing because in meditation is my number one thing. And a close second is journaling. And so a lot of times when we are perhaps struggling with how to be able to show up in the world, sometimes it really does help to just spend some time journaling our feelings. What's coming up for us. I had this happen a while back where something started, upsetting me. I was getting riled up. And so I'm like, okay, what's going on? Where is all of this about? And so to be able to get it down on paper and really, I know you can do it on the computer, but there's something about that tactile thing of having, like a pen or a pencil and actually writing it down to just allow things to come through, because you might just totally surprise yourself and realize that, oh, wow, this is bringing up something that happened to me when I was a kid. And okay, maybe I don't really need to hold on to that anymore, because now that I'm a grown up and I'm safe and secure, I can let that go. And so it is just opening your heart up to ask for that. And it's the journaling is helpful. And sometimes it just takes, it's going to take a little courage and practice, and that's okay. But I will tell you that to do it now, don't wait, because I'll never forget my sister. I lost her a few years ago to cancer, and I remember this still, I can hear her say it. She's like, God, did you have to give me cancer to have me ask people for help? Because she had to get the rides to go to her doctor's appointments and things. And I had to go out there and help her. So it's, you mentioned this at the beginning or earlier, Nancy, it's okay to ask for help. We are not meant to go and do things alone. We're not. We are social creatures. And so we need community. And it's okay to be vulnerable and to ask. And maybe you do it in small ways. I had a coach have me do one time to spend the afternoon asking my family for things. Just say, hey, if I see somebody's in the kitchen, hey, can you bring me a glass of water? Can you, oh, you're getting up. Could you bring me that? And just little things just to practice, because I was not very good at asking either. But doing that exercise, it was easy to do. My family didn't really think much about it. And it just helped to give me the confidence to be able to then ask for bigger things later.
Great suggestion. And, Darlene, the other thing that I've done in those moments is of asking for help, or maybe even somebody offers help and you bat it away. I've done that in the past, right? Oh, no, let them help you. Somebody wants to carry your groceries. Oh no, why do you need? No, sure, help me with my groceries, whatever that is. So for me, I remember when people offer me help, that's their joy, is to be able to give. Think about how good it feels to you when you get to be of service and help another. And I think stepping into that energy will help us all.
Yeah. 100%.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I was listening and I remember my husband said to me one day, and this is my husband post stroke. He had a stroke in 2019, and I was planning a conference, and I'll not forget. He says, babe, come here. And I go to him and I sit down, and he says 3 words to me. He said, ask for help. And So to hear, right. So to hear you say that, I was like, yeah, it was a reminder that we all need help. We're not here on an island. And even those people who are quote unquote self-made millionaires, they needed some help because somebody had to purchase their product or their services in order for them to get the money to make them a millionaire. So nobody does this in a bottle by themselves. So thank you so much for and the encouragement and all that you do. And thank you, Nancy, for having Gloria here on the show today.
And look, we even match. We both.
You guys are looking all right. Yes, I was going to say that. You
I
guys are
rarely
matched
wear
today.
red. Yeah, it was kind of cool. I just was inspired. Anyway, thank you, Darlene. Sending you much love across the miles. Awesome. All right, let's go to for actually I'm going to open up phone number 404-272. Your line is open, and I want to remind everybody, go to gloriarand.com/WPN wow. And I'm seeing in the chat some people are already signing up because they want to have that experience of working with you with this light language to hear and further express their true authentic heart and their messaging. Beautiful.
Awesome.
Awesome. All right, 404-272, your line is open.
Good morning. This is Terry Lynn Phillips, your automation specialist. How is everyone?
Doing good. Glad you're here.
Great. It's great. I just want to deeply thank Gloria for reminding me that authenticity brings you the right client. Because I know that we're always saying be authentic, and we're always trying to figure out what our authenticity is. But the benefit of being the one is to be authentic, and your right clients will come to you. And I so often forget that in my journey of over 40 years. So thank you for the reminder, and I cannot wait to meet with you.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you appreciated the reminder today.
Yeah, beautiful. And you are, divinely you, my friend, the diva who speaks. Just remember. All right, beautiful.
I try to give everyone me.
You do that.
Because I truly enjoy everyone.
Beautiful. Yes, you
so
do.
Thank you, Gloria. And thank you so much, as always, Nancy, for giving us the best of WPN.
My pleasure and my purpose. I love doing this. All right. Thank you, Terry Lynn. Let's go to next caller, 954-781 phone number. Good morning. Your line is open.
Yes. Good morning, Nancy and Gloria. It's a wonderful subject that you're talking about, and I agree that there's just too many people out there that don't know how unique and how it can lead them to their purpose and lead a much more fulfilling life if they're who they were authentically meant to be.
Is Tom
and
uniquely Tom?
Yeah. JT Bruce, James Bruce.
Oh, JT Bruce, hello. Nice to have you with us.
Nice to be here as usual. And I want to get together with you about doing a women empowerment symposium on a university campus. The president is all for it, and it's a very good venue. So we should talk about that.
A note to reach out to you. Thank you.
Okay, and Gloria, what I wanted to comment on is I have found, and I don't know if you've done this, that there's a great need for helping people collaborate by everybody being who they were meant to be, and collaborating with others to put together a team where everybody's who they're authentically supposed to be, and complementing one another. There's some great synergy and great results that occur when you're able to put together people that are doing what they are passionate about doing. Have you had any experience in that?
Oh, absolutely. And I've been a part of a mastermind, and of course, I've been a part of WPN for many, many years now. I can't even remember. It seems like I've been with you almost from the beginning, but I know I joined back when
Yeah.
Vicky Iba was leading the Orlando
Probably
chapter.
close
So
to 10 years. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Time flies, doesn't it? Oh my gosh. Um, and yeah, it is. I love that idea because yeah, when you can bring together people who have different skill sets and they can all share with one another, it's a wonderful thing. And that's one of the things I've been working towards, is being able to launch a mastermind of my own where I could do that. And it's coming down the road. I've been realized I was not doing things in the right order, that WPN talks about, and like a level up. And so
Time to come back to momentum.
I know. Yeah, exactly. So I've been putting those things together now. And, but yeah, it's a wonderful thing to be able to do that. Cause yeah, as of course, WPN has the concept of having the mastermind. When you bring two or more people together, amazing things happen. You can generate some really quality ideas. And of course, when you've got people with different experiences and skills, it works. So.
And that's one of the things I love about JT. Like, you seek to do that. You bring people together, even popping on the call today and saying, hey, I want to talk to you about this women's symposium. Like, you're awesome. Fabulous, JT.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. I really enjoy what you've done over the years, Nancy, and I hope that you're back doing the unconferences and the different events that you've done in the past.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, it's great what you're doing virtually too.
Exactly. Everything is about evolving and following the signs. And our mission and goal is to serve as many people as possible. And it's kind of working out really good that we can serve more people through this virtual landscape. And I know the value of that being in-person experience. I get it. So JT, I'm looking forward to connecting with you. Thank you for all you do and being with us today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, we have a few more minutes and I see we've got some more people who would like to share. So let me remind everybody one more time. You want to go to gloriarand.com/WPN wow. So make sure you say yes to the opportunity to have that session with her. And let's open up for Dr. Roz.
Good morning, good morning, good morning again. This was so awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you. I'm gonna call you G Grace, Gloria Grace, G Grace. You are loved, appreciated, celebrated, valued, and most cherished. This is so good. And as I mentioned, it kind of ties into what you shared, but what Darlene shared. Darlene is my co-host on Clubhouse called Trucking God's Way. And the Lord had been telling me to pull back from Tuesdays and Thursdays. I do that room Monday through Friday. So knowing that the help, and because I know Pastor Kevin and post-stroke, that his intuitiveness for his wife's care is still there, even though he's in a healing season. And when she said that, that made the hairs on the back of my neck go, that we don't dismiss aptitude and gratitude regardless of what our health is, that we are humans and we have feelings. So the love thing, girlfriend, it makes me think of Love Boat. Love Boat. So I just wanted to say, hey, I'll be connecting with you and go checking out the link. I'm actually doing a project right now, was having to multitask, but I wanted to make sure that I let you know that this was some good stuff. I am so indebted. My venture here to Wow Wednesdays was my first of finding out about WPN. So my heart is so big and pounds very heavy for Wow Wednesday. Everything else is awesome, but this is my birthing and my stomping ground. So I just love the Wow Wednesdays and how God downloads to Nancy. And what the last thing is, I did hear you say tongues and you sing. Did I hear you say that? Did you
Yes.
say?
Yes.
Yes. Well,
Yes.
girlfriend, we gotta
Yeah.
talk about that. We might have to
Okay.
do us a WPN tongues CD or something. And some call and response
Let me
music.
tell-
Oh my God.
Hold on a minute. So that thing that you just mentioned, we might need to do a blah, 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 blah.
Uh-huh.
That's one of those God taps.
Yes.
Don't let it pass by. That's
I'm gonna get with Gloria because that's good. And even like the one, you know, like if we were looking, the one, I am the one, God's. I said I am the one, you know, just the simplest things so we don't miss it. So y'all don't miss anything. All the puzzle pieces do work together. I love you. I yield the mic. Thank you so much, D. Grace.
Thank you. Awesome.
love it, love it, love it. So good. Thank you, Dr. Oz. And I'm going to put the link in about the class that I'm doing tonight. It is complimentary and it's all about living the one philosophy so that you can create a better life for yourself as well as humanity. It's like this beautiful magic formula. So join us this evening. You can go to the peopleskillsacademy.com/skillset. So join us for that. And I'm going to open up for our final caller, Eves Ramirez.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you beautifully.
Thank you for today, this wonderful Wednesday, and thank you, Gloria, for what you said. And I was thinking in the line of authenticity and what you mentioned to follow your intuition and be authentic to attract the ones that are waiting for you for your service. So when you are speaking or talking or reach out to those people, what is the best way to show your authenticity, and what is the things that you shouldn't do that can damage or not get the best impression of who you really are?
Interesting.
Well, I tell you what, I think one of the things is definitely check out Nancy's thing today, because it really is about being the one for someone else. You know, you want to be able to put their needs first and think about what is it that they need from you, and think about really if you treat every prospect, every client like your best friend or someone that you love dearly, because let's face it, you wouldn't be in business without them anyway. So why not show them a little love? Actually show them a lot of love and just put your whole heart and soul out there and let them see you, because that really is what's going to then, you know, like I said, some people may be like, oh no, you're not my type of person. But then others are going to be like, oh, where have you been all my life? I've been looking for you. Thank you so much for showing up. So just to be, and sometimes it does depend on you being confident in your own self. And sometimes you may need to even, you know, work with someone else, like even possibly some, you know, medical professional, if you've got maybe some real trauma or something that is really preventing you from doing that. But mostly, I think if you just start really taking care of yourself, learning to love yourself, practicing self-care, that you will start gaining the confidence to just show up as yourself, and those people will respond. And the things to not do is to try to be like everybody else. I mean, years ago, I'm gonna be vulnerable here, that I was early on in my career. I copied someone's email and sent it out with my own stuff, and she called me on it. She was on my list, and she was like, you know, Gloria, that was really my copy that I worked hard on, because I was in a rush and I wasn't feeling creative that day, and I felt terrible about it. So I would say there are some coaches who will invite you to, you know, use some of their stuff if you have permission. Yeah. But if you don't, if you're just copying somebody else's stuff and trying to portray it as your own, it's not going to work. They're going to see right through it anyway.
Yeah.
You.
Was that helpful, Eves?
Of course.
Of course.
Thank you.
All right. So good. Thank you for joining us today, Gloria. Thank you for bringing your light, your heart, so much good stuff to our community today. I really appreciate you and how you show up as you.
Well, thank you so much for having me. This has been so much fun. I really am so grateful for the opportunity to share what has been on my heart now. And maybe, well, if you get the book, you'll find out where this idea for love came. We didn't even get to talk about that, but you'll find out later.
Yeah, so sign up for the session and you get the session with Gloria plus a PDF copy of her book, which is called Live, Love, Engage. So go to gloriarand.com/WPN. Wow, there it is.
There it is.
It's a pretty cover too. All right, my friends, thank you for joining us today. Until next time, get out there, be the one. If you are still hanging with us right now and you want to join us this evening for my class on living the one philosophy, just go to the peopleskillsacademy.com. And it's thepeopleskillsacademy.com/skill set. And that's complimentary. I'm inviting everyone in because I want more people to be the one. Like, that's the world I'm creating. And I bet you'll like it. So join us for the class tonight. And if you're looking for that next level of support, guidance, coaching, and mentoring, masterminding, and accountability, check out our Momentum group program and just send a text to Susan at 954-290-2240. The doors close tomorrow at midnight, and we really want to support you in making sure 2022 gives you everything you want. Receive largely for everything that the divine has in store for you, because I'm going to embrace my divinity right now. All right. Thank you again, Gloria. Enjoy your day. You got more interviews to do, and we'll see you all next week.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye, everyone.